morning, intuitives. Yeah, another before work video I wanted to get out quickly, and given that I've been doing some narcissism videos lately, which can be a little dark, I felt like I wanted to do a more lighthearted video this morning. So, it describes INFJs pretty well. It's a decent video to show people who aren't INFJs, who kind of want to get a grasp on who we are as people. And it's basically, 10 words that can describe an INFJ, and I'll go through each one. Number one's pretty obvious, rare. INFJs are perhaps the rarest of the 16 types. That's debatable at this point, depending on who you talk to. I'm pretty certain, though, that INFJs are still the rarest type, at least among males. But yes, rarity. Not a lot of us. When there's not a lot of something, it can perhaps be sought after or completely misunderstood. I guess that depends who you ask for us. Number two is we are elusive. Being introverts, INFJs can be elusive. We can be hermits. We can be hard to find. We can certainly be hard to open up and hard for people to get us to trust them. INFJs have trust issues, and for good reason at that. So we can be elusive, the whole put yourself out there thing. INFJs like, fuck you, I don't want to be seen just to be seen. I want to be seen by the right people for the right reasons. All right. Number three, I would say, would be twin flame or soulmate. I'll use them interchangeably for these purposes. INFJs, in terms of love, for the vast majority of us, many of us are demisexual as well, but we're all or nothing when it comes to love. We want the real thing. We want our soulmate. We want our twin flame. We want that true, lasting, unconditional love that, for a lot of people, especially in the modern age, it can be elusive. We have no interest in, a summer fling or a friends with benefits thing, and pretty much encompasses our all or nothing mentality we have on a lot of things, but especially with love. INFJs can be balanced. We have a pretty good balance between like what is philosophical and what is logical. We are idealists, and we are very deep thinking, overthinking, philosophical people, but introverted thinking is also very logical, and we do, very much like to know facts and data and use them in our arguments to disprove people that are speaking straightly out of emotion, or worse yet, just blind loyalty out of tribalism. So balance, because we balance our, emotions with facts and logic. A lot of people don't do that. Five would be like creative. A lot of INFJs have a creative outlet, be it art, be it writing bad poetry, like this guy, and you should watch him. Even you should watch my poetry videos, even though they're not that good. Acting, writing stories of certain kinds. I already said art. Graphic design, decorating. Tattoo artists. A lot of INFJs have a creative outlet of some time. We're much better with expressing our emotions through that creative outlet than we are just talking about them plain talk. Like an INFJ it would be much easier for me to like write a poem about how I'm feeling as opposed to just saying it. It may be easier for some other INFJs to portray a fictional character that is going through what they themselves are going through in their real life, but they're trying to keep private because they can't just talk about it plainly. You get it? So creative, big part of who we are. Six, this one goes without saying, empath. INFJs are, known for our empathy, known for being empaths, as are other types like ENFPs and ENFJs. But, as INFJs, we can tend to feel the distress and the pain of others, and while we may not understand those emotions, we feel them. And something INFJs tend to do is when we experience the emotions of somebody else being abused or exploited, we fly into a rage and want to do something about it. We're empaths, but at the same time, we're not going to just sit back and allow that person we care about to be continuously abused or exploited. Our INFJ rage will then kick in and go hand in hand with our empathy, and it'll be righteous and just rage. 7 is we're very introspective, we're very inward thinking. INFJs, we overthink just about everything. We overthink everything about ourselves. Certainly every move we make, every word we say. No, I'm not going to start singing a Police song, but every move, like we pre-plan everything and come up in our head the various different scenarios as to how it could play out, and we'll usually assume it's going to play out in the worst possible way, but we'll have various contingency plans in place because we have to overthink anything before we make a move. We're not a shoot from the hip kind of people, unless our rage is triggered and the situation calls for it, but that's a unique circumstance, and that's not, I hope not every day. So we're very introspective. We're always wondering about ourselves, how we can better ourselves, how we can better express to the world the person we truly are, and how we can be the person we want to be, which is not that hard for us to live up to our own code, but that expressing ourselves as we want to be seen part hard. Yeah. So 8, INFJs are visionaries. As idealists, we want to make the world a better place, and we very much abhor corruption, nepotism, old boys clubs, cronyism, institutionalized racism, sexism, misogyny, all that. And we think of ways that we can get rid of it, and ways to, call out those people who defend those corrupt traditions, despite who they are, who they may be, how rich they are, how famous they are, how pretty they are. It doesn't care to us. In terms of us being visionaries, we want to make the world a better place for all, and we're willing to call out whoever needs to be called out to do that. We don't care at all who they are. So as visionaries, we see the world as it possibly could be, not as it is, and we refuse to operate under the assumption of, well, it is what it is, and you have to operate under the status quo as it is, because the status quo is perfect. That's why it is the status quo. It wouldn't be the status quo if it wasn't perfect. So you must cheer, yay, status quo, and stop trying to destroy my precious status quo that made me me and you nothing. We are baby boomers. Oh, wait, no, that's pretty good summary of a lot of conversations I've had with narcissistic boomers who owe everything to the old boys club, and now they're millionaires, but they still want more because there's never enough for them. So yeah, we're visionaries, and we're willing to, to take on the corrupt system, to try to break the wheel, to, slay the monster that's 100 times bigger than us. Being idealists, we think we can win, or, at least get enough attention that people want to join the fight after they see the monster slaughter us, like I did in Arlington. I'm not sure if I won that fight or not. For another day. Number 9, idealistic, kind of goes hand in hand with visionaries. For INFJs, the impossible just takes longer. Even if the odds are 0.000000001%, we believe that's still possible. Improbable, but yes, but yet possible. Get what I'm saying? Like right now, time travel is not possible, but things that are highly improbable are technically possible. Like if I wanted to run for president, being a natural-born American citizen and being 35 years old, I am technically eligible. The odds of me winning, again, a lot of zeros behind a decimal point, but still technically possible. Those are the kind of odds that INFJs aren't afraid to take. We truly believe in our idealistic nature that a lot of times we can fix a corrupt system, we can make things better, we can be the person that somebody else is looking for. But there's a caveat. The caveat is us getting a fair shot, and beings that INFJs, are introverts who don't seek attention for attention's sake, don't seek money, fame, fortune, power for the sake of them. A lot of us would never get that opportunity just because, we're not, in the club because we hate the club and want to burn the club down. But at the end of the day, we're still visionaries who think if given a fair chance, we could make a real difference. And I saved the best one for last. One word that can describe an INFJ better than any other: intuitive. We are, bar none, the best at intuition. Introverted intuition is our dominant function, and nobody does it better than us. It is a blessing and a curse. Sometimes our intuition puts pieces of puzzles together we wish we didn't know. Sometimes it's like, oh God, dodge that bullet. And it's also a learning process for us too as INFJs, because we don't just trust that intuition right off the bat. No, we go through periods of thinking that we're nuts and we're assuming the worst and this can't be and other people don't do this and I want to be normal. But eventually an INFJ learns that for the most part your introverted intuition is your greatest ability, and it is a blessing, and you learn to trust it because the vast majority of the time it's right. And hopefully other people around us who know us will learn to trust our intuition too, as it can save them a lot of pain and heartbreak potentially. So here's 10 words that, any one of them can describe an INFJ pretty well. I hope this lightened things up for the day. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember, to always trust your intuition. Intuition is the word that describes us best. And to remember, to never sell out your integrity for whatever goal you're trying to do or for whatever thing you're trying to change for the better. I assure you, Faustian bargains very, 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 very rarely ever end well.